Welcome to the GracePoint Publishing Podcast. Come along with us as we get an exclusive look into what really happens as we co-collaborate with our authors to craft and publish their books. Please see the show notes to find more ways to connect with our creators. And now, here's your host, best-selling author and founder of the Scribes of Light Press with GracePoint Publishing, Danielle Rama Hoffman.
Welcome, Danielle Rama Hoffman here, guest host on GracePoint Podcast. And I am so pumped, juiced up, excited, in a state of joy to be with our Scribes of Light author, Kim Van de Sande, to be diving into her incredible book, Activating the Flower of Love, a sacred guide to manifesting your deepest desires and highest calling. Welcome, Kim.
Thank you. So great to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, and a special shout out to GracePoint for hosting us and also for you for tuning in here. So if you enjoy the flower of life, sacred geometry, manifestation, you're going to be in for a treat here. So, Kim, as we're just kicking off here, I really want to hone in on this podcast on the part of the title, which is your highest calling, because I feel like it's such an important topic and theme and so beautifully described in your book. So as we're starting to spiral in, I'd love to hear about how authoring a book was and is a part of your highest calling.
Yeah, it truly is. This book has guided me in so many ways. It's like I always had the desire to write a book, but I never knew what it was or what I would write a book about. And I was constantly over the years looking for what is my highest calling and what is my unique contribution and why am I here on the Earth Star and what is the thing that will bring me joy and excitement and fulfillment. And through many different ways, at one point I felt this energy around me that was so strong. And through me choosing to start this book almost 1.5 years ago, the energies came through and it became more clear. But it's interesting that that's also what is within my book, like your highest calling. It is already within you. And it is asking everyone to go through these layers that are not you to discover the essence of you. So me channeling this book, me creating this book, invited me to go past all these layers, past all these dimensions that were not me and to come back to the essence. And in the essence, this book arises. So it is like, me going through all these different stages of my life, through all these different experiences. And I think the most important message in this now moment, that is that everything that you are looking for is already within you. And it's tuning in, it's peeling away the layers. And that's also what the book is guiding people in, but also what the book guided me in by creating it, by bringing this forward. So.
And I love what you shared there, and I want to kind of put it in bold and highlight and make it bigger, because oftentimes we can think, and this is part of why I want to talk about highest calling. Sometimes we can think it's like one thing, or we have clarity about it way in advance, and that can happen. And yet, what you expressed there was that it really was in the journey, in the unfolding, that more was revealed. And I know that you work with your clients, as do I, around, really new paradigm ways of being. And so it's a different way of navigating the world, where we're following the breadcrumbs, where we're following the energy, and we're proactive, and we're really going for it, yet in a way that is also open or not attached. So would you just talk a little bit more about that piece of the highest calling? Because again, I think people can be in that place of like, I don't know why I'm here, even though we do, or think it needs to be done, but it's really a work that's unfolding in the now.
It is a state of beingness. That's also what I've noticed. It is being you, and it's coming back to the essence of you. And your highest calling is already within you, and it's just inviting you to tune in. And with each step you take, more will become more visible. It is like following the path of joy, following the path of excitement, but it is by you choosing to leap, by you choosing to step out of your comfort zone and take this next step, and then more will be revealed. But it's not. People most of the time think it's something very outside of themselves, but it's not. Most of the time it are things that come to you naturally, or that come to you when you are in a state of joy and excitement and playfulness. I think it's more like a journey into self, like discovering who you are in your essence. The you that came here to the Earth Star with a mission, with a purpose, with a higher calling to inspire others to become themselves as well. And you've took specific tools and gifts for that. And it is through this journey that you are being guided to remember that and to activate that and to just be you, because I think that's the most important message. It's like we have so through growing up and through society, we have so been taught to be someone else, or to be like someone else, or to be more, but it is like being the essence of you. It's coming back to the core that is within you. And when you do that, and when you release all these layers that are not you, that's where the real magic starts. And the magic then unfolds in most beautiful ways. And sometimes it are like these enormous galactic energies that suddenly arise within you, or more earthly connected energies, or there are so many. I see it within my clients as well. There are so many different dimensions, but it's inviting you to come back to the essence. So your highest calling, in a way, it's not doing more, it's not being more, learning more. It is in a way unlearning, so you can dive into this seed of creation, this blueprint that is your essential energy. So yeah. It's really just a journey back into self, I think. And that's really the most powerful thing we can be here on the Earth Star as well. It's being your uniqueness. It's being the you came here to be. Because there's no one else that can anchor your unique frequencies. There's something only you can bring. And that is really inviting you to almost, like look within. What wants to be seen? What wants to be acknowledged? And who am I? That's the, yeah.
Thank you. Beautiful. And the unlearning is so key, because sometimes we can be on a path and it may be a part of the trajectory of what we're here for. I think about your journey and how you were, trained as an architect, and now you work with energy as a sacred architect and blueprints in the field, and that's also what's a lot that is in your book as well. So often everything has a purpose and it can be a part of our journey. And yet sometimes I can see for myself and for others that there can be this kind of just continuing with something because that's what you've been doing. Yes. So I really feel like that's also an important message that you're sharing, to be tuning in what's alive now, what's bringing joy now. So as you're sharing about this Be You, I feel like it's a beautiful time to read a bit from your first chapter, yes, because that is the message, and then also bring in the energy of the book. Does that sound good?
Yes, great. So the first chapter is called Own Your Uniqueness. A flower is focused on its purpose, which is to blossom into its full potential. It is consistently concentrated on growth and expansion. And when grown, this flower then produces seeds that spread its beauty everywhere. The flower creates a powerful ripple where beauty generates more beauty. The flower works with the elements, the sun, the earth, the water, air, bees, and butterflies. All the different elements in the right balance will support the flower to blossom. The flower seed has within it all it needs. The full potential is always present, even when something happens and someone takes off a flower's petal, or something falls on top of the flower. Or the flower will still focus on its goal of growing into its full potential. Each flower is unique and does not desire to be something else, overliving the potential that is within its seed. And while growing, it does not allow outer circumstances to distract it from its purpose. The flower is a pure source of divine energy. It begins as a seed and then grows out into its full potential. And when the flower blossoms, it shares its beauty with the world without holding back. By spreading its seeds, this one flower shares its unique legacy. It is always in a state of divine wholeness. And whatever happens in the outer world, from the potency of its divine wholeness, it blossoms. You too hold all the potential within you to blossom. Like the seed, you have pure and full potential within you. And by releasing outer expectations placed upon you by society, family, or outdated paradigms, and recognizing, reconnecting, and remembering your inner guidance, you too can reach that innate potential. It is within the knowing and believing in yourself that magic happens, and all you are looking for is already within you. It's time to peel back all the layers of illusion and distortions placed on top of your divine blueprint and connect with your essence so you can express your divine potential with confidence and clarity. We start this journey with awareness. What do you see in your life? What experiences have you created consciously and subconsciously? What are your deep desires asking you to create? And what is the vision you hold? What do you desire to manifest? And are you aware of what is holding you back? Take a moment to observe what is currently being expressed in your reality. What do you see? And if you truly desire change, it is time to take a step back so you can dig up the root of what is currently blocking you from elevating into your next level. Deep within you, you know there's more to life than what you are currently allowing in and giving yourself credit for. You have all the power inside to shift your experiences of your reality and the power to release from your inner garden what no longer needs. The power to clean out your soil, to take out the weeds and build a strong and nourishing foundation where your divine potential can blossom. The flower of love knows you are divine. You are whole, you are love. It shines a light on your inner garden to show you where your divine potential is planted. But it also shows you where you need to rearrange your garden, where you need to take out weeds and plant that overshadows the growth of your desires. It supports your soil with nurturing and nourishing energies. Let's say there is a slower vibration from your past currently holding you back from moving forward, a weed in your inner garden. If you do not harmonize this weed, it will affect the growth of your creation seed and the seeds of your desire. In essence, this weed is taking the nourishment from the full potential that you are. Your inner garden is a representation of your life, and all you see growing above the ground is your outer reality, and all that is growing under the ground is your inner experience. And we will spiral into this concept more fully throughout this book.
Wow. So just taking a moment to invite you to breathe in that beautiful transmission and to really steep in the vibrations. You know, I know for me, as you were reading it, there were like phrases that were sparking in my system or that were like jumping out even more from within the garden, like the flowers that were popping up. So you may also have had that experience where some words in particular were vibrating more strongly, or were rippling out. You know, I love that part about the seed and the flower creating that ripple effect, that unique legacy, and just how our highest calling can also be connected with others. You know, that a part of my highest calling is to lead the evolution in consciousness and to really co-create with other leaders like yourself, Kim, to be reaching more individuals than we may be doing on our own. So highest calling can also be what we're choosing to manifest and states of being, like you beautifully said. And yet it can also be creating new paradigms, new ways of being. Yeah. So I know in the book there's a lot of exercises, and the whole thing is an energetic transmission. So if you're feeling called to go deeper, I would invite you to get the book, Activating the Flower of Love, and that it's a journey. It's an experience. It's like a transformational. It's like working with Kim. Yeah, in the book, working with Kim and the guides and the Flower of Love. And to me, that's one of the things I really love about your book and what we're up to with the Scribes of Light Press is that you're not the same at the end of the book as you were in the beginning.
No.
So for you, like, what's been the most exciting about having your seeds as the book out into the world spreading? Like, because there's different phases, right? There's like getting the book done, there's publishing, there's becoming a bestseller, then there's having the book out there. Like, what's been the most fun about it, or what kind of experience?
In a way, the whole journey, because it grows, and to me, first creating, like, I channeled the book in 20 hours, and that for me was just such a beautiful confirmation of when you are in flow and when you choose to align to whatever wants to flow through you, to my uniqueness, that something beautiful can create it. And then the whole process of editing came, and that for me was also a process, because the moment of editing was for me like me going through the teachings of the book and me going through this sacred journey myself, and then the spreading of the teachings. That was really, in a way, through the editing process, I know and I felt the potency of these teachings myself. But then when it goes out into the world, it's like this next step. Will others as well resonate with these teachings? Will they feel the potency? And now the book, it has been out for a couple of months now. I get the most beautiful messages and responses of people. And it so touches my heart, because the earth needs these love frequencies. The earth just needs love in general. And when we can inspire others by being more loving, by receiving more love, and through love, awakening more of their radiance and their beauty, and also like the seed. So they're awakening like this beautiful flower and spread their beauty everywhere. That's just so every phase has its unique thing, but I'm now so grateful that these teachings are just spreading and that they're inspiring people to become the best version of themselves and discover from this field of love, from this warm blanket, what potency is that is within them. Instead of, it's like, it's reminding them of who they are in their essence. And because the field of love is so powerful, when you are embraced with love, it's like you soften and you allow these barriers to go down, and you allow yourself to be seen and to be acknowledged. And through that process, and that's also where the book is guiding you in, it's through that process that more of your essential energy can come online. And it is your essential energy that in the end creates the magnitude of attracting what you desire. And it's like, it's also inspiring people to really, like, we've so been taught also, like, that when we do things for ourselves, or when we do joyful things, like, that we're not taking good care of others. But that's also a shift that we all can make, because when we are joyful, when we are taking good care of ourselves, we can even be of more service to others. We can even be of more inspiration. So the book is first guiding people deep within, and to connect with that powerful source that is within, and then spread out into the world. So there are so many different dimensions, and I'm so grateful that now the teachings can do its own work. It's like there's so much power and potency within it, and it's just rippling out. And so I'm very grateful, and it's so beautiful to see its unfoldings, and also the beautiful things that come from that. It's like, this is just the beginning of what is created through this book and through these teachings and these love codes. So I'm very grateful.
Yeah. As I was welcoming you and, the listeners, and was also really welcoming in the being of love that is Activating the Flower of Love book. And, what you said there is so key. If we look at it on a physical plane, it's also why I'm such a stand and love books as a part of what it is, that we're up to, is that then those books can be read by thousands around the world, and it multiplies the reach and the expansion and the transformation. And it's also so readily available for financially. And it is an investment, of course, of time and being willing to do the work and go within. And, you also have, when somebody gets the book, these the audio versions of the meditations, which I love, because it's great to be reading a meditation, but then sometimes to have your voice right there when somebody's reading the book, it can be like an energy spa. I wanted to circle back to one of the things that was popping to me when you were reading was also about like how the flower isn't trying to be somebody that it's not. I know the Path of the Venus Light guides often speak about the analogy of like, if you're a strawberry, be the most sun-ripened, fully juicy, succulent strawberry, and that the strawberry is not wishing to be the cantaloupe. And so I feel like that is so timely to be speaking about, because it brings up a lot of illusions that may be in somebody's garden in terms of like comparison or trying to be somebody that you're not. So would you just kind of riff on that a little bit?
Yeah. It's like, so this time and this journey is also supporting you to really become yourself. It's like to come back to the essence of who you are, because it is the essence of who you are that is powerful. It's like, my guides share like this image of a beautiful ball of light that is around you, that is your energy field. And it's the most potent version of you is the one that is this pure centered self, is the one that is the essence without all these illusions around you, without all these distortions. And when you come back to the essence of you, that uniqueness that is you, it's like you're supported from within. And from that space, you can step more clearly out into the world. This book is inviting you to see, to recognize the potency that is within you. And that is not by you being someone else. That is not by you copying someone else. That is not by you. It's also like, yes, of course, the garden at the neighbor can look more beautiful, but you didn't came here to be someone else. You came here to be you. And the more you recognize that within yourself, because you can try to be just like the neighbor or create a garden like your neighbor, but in a way it will never work for you like it would work for your neighbor, because it needs to be rooted from your essence. It needs to be rooted from your seed of creation, from the essence that is you. And when you do that, when you create it from your pure energy, then your flowers blossom in your garden. It's not by you copying someone else. And that's really also what this analogy says. It's like it's time that you recognize the power and the potency that is when you choose to be you. Maybe you notice it like the moments when you are in love, because then you are your radiant self, and suddenly the whole world looks magical and magical things come on your path. But it's not that the world changes. In a way, it's also not that you change. You still have your tools and your gifts and your different qualities, but you're in this state of joy, you're in this state of love, you're in this state of beingness. And through that, magical things open up. And then suddenly you don't want to be someone else, because you are in this love field with yourself. And it's really about recognizing the potency that is within you, and also seeing the value of just being you. Like maybe some are meant to stand in front of large groups and are happy with that. And some need to radiate their light while they are in nature, or some just in family situations. Or it's also acknowledging where you can be of most value and where you are supportive to your own energy field. Because you can try to be someone else and then feel depleted or constantly overgiving, overdoing. But it's what brings you joy and what brings you excitement, and follow that and strengthen that field that really is within you. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, that was another line from what you read that really popped out at me around, giving yourself credit for your uniqueness and who you are and what you're up to, and really the receiving of it. Like when I asked, what for you has been so great about having the seeds out there, I could really feel you receiving the feedback. And that's such an important aspect of what we're talking about as well. It's not only the giving, but the having and also the receiving. So Flower of Love, I feel like I can't not ask you about Flower of Love, since that's the title and I know we kind of dived in a little bit into being your uniqueness, yet what's the flower of love? Somebody may be wondering.
It's a powerful field of love codes and a powerful field of love consciousness. What I discovered also, when people buy the book, they can enter a free live event with Flower of Love Council. So you can do that on my website. But what I've noticed now, more and more people are connecting with the field of the Flower of Love. More and more codes come online. So it's like there is this field of higher vibrational consciousness. And when you connect with it, when you are your authentic self and you raise your vibrations, more codes come online. And by that, you embody more codes of love within your being, and your life changes and it spreads out into the world. But it's this potent field, and we are just at the beginning of discovering the potency that is within this field. It's like the field of love. It is like the field of infinite possibilities. Of you could see it like the quantum field, and then a field that is of love, and you can interact with it, and you can, by choosing to raise your vibrations, it gives you deeper codes within yourself, deeper codes of remembering, deeper codes of connecting. But what I've discovered the last few months is like by more and more people connecting, the field becomes more powerful. And by that, also the transformation. So even though we connect together through this field, the individual magic amplifies because we are choosing to, in a way, invite this field into our life. We invite the Flower of Love to co-create with us in the most magical and joyful way. Because truly, when we choose love, magical things open up. But it starts by first loving ourselves and loving every part of us and loving the slower vibrations and loving our beautiful, joyful moments. And when we embrace that, when we can be in the state of oneness, in the state of wholeness, in the state of no resistance, more of our codes can come online, more of our ancient wisdom, more of our magic. And that journey is for everyone unique because you came here to bring something unique. But it is through this field of love, through the embrace and the safetiness and the softness of this love field, you open up it's like a flower. It's like nourishment for your seed of creation to blossom, nourishment for whatever wants to be awakened within you to rise and to spread its beauty everywhere.
Yeah. So with that, following your inner guidance and the higher calling, and that was also a part of the message that you read, of really like moving forward, even if society or others may not think that's a great idea. So I'm just wondering if you have any awareness or tips for someone that's in that place where they have an inner guidance that is on a leading wave and know that perhaps somebody in their life, as well-meaning as they may be, might not like it, and kind of the momentum. Because to me, as you were reading, there really was this focus. Yes, you're weeding out some stuff and that's a part of it, but there's more an inner momentum or a moving forward energy that seems to kind of take on a life of its own and have less focus on, the slower vibrations or the weeds. So if somebody's going, I have this inner guidance, but it's kind of freaking me out a little bit, what tips or tools or awareness would you share?
The most important thing is within the book that you are being guided to connect with your deep desires. So to find out what is the essence of your deep desires, but even just your inner guidance or your deep desire, what do you desire to create? And then through you following your guidance, you elevate, but also the slower vibrations that kept you from elevating, they just come up. So the book is not guiding you to dive into the stories of the slower vibrations. It's giving you tools, practical tools and energetic ways to clear these energies so you can elevate, so you can transcend into the next step of your guidance. Because your guidance is here to guide you in the direction of your highest calling. It's like your excitement, your deep desires, and it's also reminding us that we are on this journey of growth and expansion. We didn't came here to stay in our comfort zone. We didn't came here to stay the same. We came here to grow and expand as a soul, as a human, as a contribution. And that is inviting all of us to step out of our comfort zone. And sometimes that means that a slower vibration comes up, or sometimes that means that a trigger comes up. But through the tools in the book, you are being guided with practical tools, but also energetic ways to clear them so that you can then move forward. It's like when you are being guided to the book, you came here to bring something new, to anchor something new, to contribute in a unique way. And that is inviting you to stretch. And that's fine. Sometimes it's difficult, but you know you are meant for something bigger. And it's like looking for that place where you feel fulfillment instead of just living your life. It's inviting you to become the best version of yourself. And that sometimes means stretching. That sometimes means doing something out of your comfort zone. And sometimes it also means letting people go. But it's coming back to the essence of you. And when you are loving to yourself and loving to your environment, sometimes people leave, but you can also be the inspiration. And at one point they come back because they see your centeredness. They see that you no longer respond from triggers, but you are just being yourself. You are taking responsibility to create something new. It's like, when you feel drawn to these teachings, there's a deeper desire within you. And it's honoring that desire. So what is it guiding you with? And what is it inviting you to stretch in? And just leap. That is my invitation. Because through you leaping, more things open up. It's like you have these stepping stones and they are in the mist. And the only moment you see the next stepping stone is by you taking the first leap. And then the next one and then the next one. But if you stay in your comfort zone, that's also fine. But then your life never changes. So we all have this desire for growth. And that means sometimes stretching, and that means sometimes facing what we don't want to face. But that is the most rewarding. It's going through these steps that will create the life we really desire. So this is just an invitation for you to, if you feel the guidance, leap, follow, and then also see what comes up. Because when slower vibrations come up, it's also an invitation to clear energies out of your field. It's like an opportunity for growth. There's so much wisdom that happens within a trigger, within a slower vibration. And if you can recognize the wisdom, it allows you to expand even more. So it's taking every moment as a moment to grow and to learn things. It's seeing life from a higher perspective than only from the 3D experience.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, Kim, and activating the flower of love, book being. And thank you for tuning into this podcast. I feel like there were so many gems around highest calling and also so much energy to move forward. So as we're completing here, Kim, any last inspiration?
I would just say you are amazing, and it's time to recognize that. And to just embrace yourself with love, and from love, move forward into the most magnificent radiance that you are. So, yes, and thank you. Thank you for you and for GracePoint, and also for you listening. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. My pleasure. I'm so happy for you and the book. And all right, bye everyone. Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you for coming along with us today on the GracePoint Publishing Podcast. Join us next time as we introduce you to another one of our incredible authors. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe and rate us on your favorite podcasting platform. To find out more about our authors and to see how we can help you publish your book, head to GracePointPublishing.com. Keep writing, keep creating, your words matter.